What's up, people? Big Marc Jackson here. Thank you for joining us for the Marc Jackson Show. Brought to you, of course, from the Fittler Club in Philadelphia. We have a great show today. I got three of my comrades here, former teammates, former childhood buddies. We have them from the end to the middle here. We have Alvin Williams, of course, from Villanova University, 10-year NBA vet. We're going to talk about Nova later. We got a guy, John Salmons here, 13-year NBA vet, played for many teams. And we got Aron Blue Mckie. We're going to talk about where you get the nickname Blue from, 14 years NBA vet. We're just going to have some fun here, people. We're going to flow. We're just going to talk basketball, talk life, and what they're into now. Bet? Let's get it in. So what's up, fellas? Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate y'all. So first of all, we're all from Philadelphia, as we, brotherly love, but nowadays it don't seem like that. We're going to say it is. So first of all, Alvin, start with you. We gonna bust your chops about Nova later.
Yeah, man, ain't nothing to bust. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing to bust. But go ahead.
You know how we do it. But Al, talk to us, bro. Tell us, 10 years NBA, outstanding career in college, of course. Where are you now doing media and other things? Where are you now in life?
Well, now home. Home, me and John were just talking off air, daddy daycare, family stuff. You know what I mean? Being home, all the stuff that you missed throughout the years. It's unloaded on you now, but I'm doing that first and foremost, family. And then I also work in Toronto for the Raptors, MLSC, doing play-by-play. I do 41 games for Sportsnet Canada. And then I'm just back and forth here. I was coaching. I got fired from Shipley School, so I got fired after 2 years.
You got fired from a high school coaching job?
Yeah, I fired my damn self. But no, that's pretty much it. I'm doing broadcasting, which is it's fun. It's a challenge. It's a new industry, but it's familiar sport. So I'm having a really good time.
Love it, brother. John, the quiet assassin. This man don't talk much, guys. So we are honored to get John out here talking to us. John Simmons, tell us, where are you now after 13 years? Now, where are you in life now?
I'm just taking care of the kids, man. I got four young kids at home. I'm like an Uber driver, so I just take them around to all their events and everything they got going on. I had a restaurant at the Cherry Hill Mall. I opened it 2 months before COVID. So right before COVID. So you know how that went. But yeah, I'm just, taking care of the kids. I'm trying to figure out, still 8 years later out the league, trying to figure out what I'm going to do next.
The benefit of being relaxed and really just think about what we're going to do at this age.
That's a fact. I've been thinking about it for 8 years.
Facts. Blue, a.k.a., tell us about you, Blue. You done did everything. NBA coaching, college coaching. Where are you now, brother?
Just finished coaching over at Temple. And
TU, shout out.
Yep. Now I'm just running around with my kids, doing a lot like these guys are. And, for a lot of us, we missed a lot because of our careers and our paths and everything. You know a lot about what I'm doing. I spend a lot of time with you because my kids play for you. And you've done a wonderful job in building rebuilding Philadelphia youth basketball. So I appreciate that. And I thank you for that. But I'm enjoying my time that I have with my kids, and spending with my kids is so important to me. I miss so much. And I just want to be there for them. I got young kids right now, and they have dreams and aspirations, and I want to make sure keep my eyes on them at all times.
You got to do that now, especially today's society. So tell me this, guys. Now that we're all retired, we're all fathers, family men and fathers. What's been the hardest transition in retirement? And our children are all young age. I think your son's the youngest. How old is
6?
6. How old are you?
My youngest 8.
Yeah, so I think the youngest. How does it feel now, like being out of league, being out of that commitment of playing the game, playing basketball, always ripping and running, to now we kind of have to dial it down and be there and be that parent, them fathers, now we're always there. How has that transition been to family life and fatherhood?
I mean, first, it was definitely difficult when I first retired. One, because I wasn't ready to retire. I wanted to continue playing. So, I had like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, hoping I get picked up. But once I, gave that up and I, focused full time and just with the family, that's when it became a little bit easier. I started to, basically become a full-time dad. That's where I am now. While I was playing, you there But your mind is always on the game. You traveling, you doing all this other stuff. So once I mentally became a full-time dad, it became a lot easier for me.
Really committed to what's accepted and committed to it. Okay. What about you?
I think throughout our life, just being, I'm not going to just say basketball, just involved in sports, it's consumed us for the most part, from practicing to working out and, all of those things. And we forget about some of the other things in life because we're so consumed with, what we're doing and trying to achieve our goals. And quite honestly, it's been a great life for all of us. You guys been able to afford to be able to stay home and get up with your kids and make them breakfast and take them to school. And some of the things we take for granted, but it's important to the kids to be able to do those things. And for me, I just had to take a step back and say, what am I chasing? What's this about? Do I forget about their dreams and some of the things that they want to do? And you want to be present. You and I had a conversation. Like, I'm bored, man. And you're really active. I mean, you're out, you get up in the morning, you're working out, you're playing golf, you're running around with your kids, you're doing the same sort of thing. But, for us, we need to be fulfilled in a certain sort of way. And I don't want to come off as sounding arrogant or anything like that, but we're different. There's a small group of us in what we do in professional sports. And think about how many kids want to be professional basketball players or want to be professional football players, baseball players. It's a small group that's able to do that. And in order to get into that sort of club, there's a lot you have to sacrifice. Family time, friend time, social life, you name it. You can go down the list, but we're here for a reason because we were willing to make that sacrifice. And now one thing that I would say, because I'm a little older than you guys, just don't be afraid to enjoy the fruits of your labor. You know what I mean? You worked your tails off. You've been able to afford your kids and family a better life. So you enjoy yours now. And that's really how I look at things now. I want to enjoy my life, but I want to spend time with my kids and just hang out with them and do what they want to do and watch them continue to grow.
Good point. Good point. I think, to touch on that, I think it's so important that sometimes we forget the importance we have every day with our presence on our children. And I know we've all known each other for many years. And we know how we've all grown up. We know who the men we have become. We also sit back and watch the fathers we become. And I think that's so important. Like, for me, the biggest challenge was like, I'm always on the go. I'm always like revving, always on 100. And it's like, sometimes you can't be that way with the kids. You gotta be like, okay, let me settle down. Let me break it down. Like, okay, Sharif, instead of like, you got to do this, like, okay, this is why you should do this. It's kind of like, I kind of turn to a coach now with my children. Me personally, I kind of turn to coaching them mentally, because also when I retired, a big thing for me was I needed that itch. Everybody needed that itch scratched. And I was so blessed that doing televisions for the Sixers as well as college since right after I retired, but also sitting back and looking at my sons, like, I got three mini-me's. And they all three different personalities. But the thing that really captivated me was just, like you said, enjoying it, but like also seeing the other side, like, they're not going to be here long. Soon they're going to be out of college and they're going to be going. So how can I help coach them to prepare them for what's out there? And that's where that coaching mentality. So now I come from being that goon and that guy that's always on the go to kind of sit it down. Now think about some of my greatest coaches, even Coach Chaney, for example. He would get on you, but he would explain stuff to you to make you comprehend that. So for me personally, I think the adjustment of bringing it down, I still ain't yelling. Y'all know me. I'm still loud as hell. But explaining more. And I think that it actually is taking my sons by surprise. Like, who this dude? It's not just do what I say. It's like, well, let me tell you why this is beneficial to you. And they kind of sit back like, Dad, we like when you yell at us. So it's like this. Oh, how's it been with you? I'm sorry, John.
It's a different generation with these
Yeah. Oh, yeah, bro.
when we was kids, our parents just yelled at us or gave us spankings, whatever they had to do. These kids ain't having that these days.
They might put you on IG Live.
Like,
my dad's spanking me on IG Live.
It's different. So I had to learn, all we got is the examples that, our parents gave us. And I ain't have any siblings, anything like that. So when I had my first, I ain't have no experience with kids. So it was kind of, everything was new to me. So I'm just going off of, what I learned from my parents. And I quickly learned that it's different these days. So you gotta parent different. You gotta relearn things. I think that's the biggest, as an adult, that's the biggest thing I had to do was relearn. Like I relearned a lot as an adult. Because the things you grow up thinking, not necessarily, and the things you grow up thinking, the things you learn, it's not necessarily true. And it's a lot of things that you just got to relearn. And the way you parent is one of.
We have to pivot and adjust. If I can use basketball as an analogy, like when we all played basketball, it was so different. Still basketball, but it's just so different now. It's shoot the three, lay up now. And for us, you just play basketball. It's instinctive. And it's the way that we grew up, playing the game of basketball. And, while we're on the topic of talking about parents, I want to give a shout out to your pop. Bless his soul. I can always remember your father was one of the only parents that was in the gym all the time. And I'm like, then when you're immature, like, why is he here? You know what I mean? We in the gym, we working or whatever. And those are some of the insecurities as a young kid that you may have that you don't know you have because you don't have that. I didn't have it. We're parents now. And Marc does a great job. I'm around him a lot of time. He tries to be present. We just talked about this weekend, next weekend that's coming up. He has to drive from Atlanta to spend time with one of his kids to Augusta, Georgia, to spend time with another one of his kids, and then drive back. And I think about the presence that we try to have with our kids, and for us, we saw the examples. Your dad was present for everything. And I even made it a point, whenever I would see him, or if he would see me, I always made his way. I come to Toronto, if he was in the crowd, he'll make his way. If I see him, I'll wave to him. That's always been important to me. You know what I mean? And to see that growing up, I couldn't say I didn't have my father in the house. I had John Harnett, I had Bill Ellaby, I had John Chaney. I saw your dad and how he conducted himself. He was always there, but he never said one word. One word. I knew what a man, a male figure, and a role model looked like. So I just wanted to, give that shout out to your pop, man, because, I appreciate that and I admire that.
Appreciate it.
And Al, so just me and Al have been teammates since we were like 12 years old. Yeah. Summer league, so we was always the Sunny Hill League. We've been teammates from like middle school, elementary school, all the way up to high school before, we parted ways for college. But I'm still sensitive about that, people, so we'll talk about that later. But Al, tell us about your experience, as in parenthood.
Yeah, like unlike Blue and John, I ain't had no kids while I was playing. Did y'all have kids while I was playing? So I ain't really had to make that adjustment. Like parenthood, I had to make that adjustment. Relationships. Now I got full-time relationships that I got to tend to and all that type of stuff. But the parent thing, as Blue said, I had great experiences, examples, like my pop. And it messes me up a lot of times. I see a lot of parents and I always think back to my pop, like, man, my pop ain't act like that or ain't say, like you said, he ain't say that. But it's different. It's great to see all these kids having parents in their lives and stuff like that. And like what Blue was saying about your travel. I just remember my senior year in college, my pop ain't miss a game. That was his thing. He ain't miss a game. So he worked in New York, Major League Baseball. He would come wherever, drive to Syracuse, West Virginia, Miami, he ain't missed one game my senior year. And that was his thing. Cause he ain't know I was gonna get drafted. He thought it might be the last time I was playing. So that I just always see that commitment. So the days that you be tired, days you don't feel like it, you just got to create and create those memories. and create those moments, because now not having my mom or pop in the past 2 years, I realized all I got is those memories. So I'm like, that's the biggest thing now. Like y'all said, being present and just keep creating those memories.
So let's transition to something that is a topic that is now, it used to be frowned upon. Now you could talk about it. Mental health. Mentally, I would start with me. Like mentally, life is like this. Like when you're not in front of that arena, in that crowd, in those arenas, it's a different world. Like you said, relearn, readjust, whatever words you want to use. It takes something in you to realize like, oh, this is completely different. I have to be different. I have to learn more things. I have to relearn myself. I have to relearn life and how to live through life and navigate the waters. Like what has been the challenges for you personally since being out of the uniform?
For me, it's been, I guess, finding that next, passion. I mean, we all made it to the NBA. So growing up as a child, that's all you want to do. That was my focus every day. Growing up playing at Finley or wherever I was playing, that all I thought about was making it to the NBA. So then you make it, you have a long career, you enjoy your career. All you've been doing your whole life is playing basketball. And then out the blue, even when you're not ready, you don't have it no more. Basketball is gone. So for me, that was my only passion. That's the only thing I love to do. So I think my biggest struggle since I retired, just finding that next thing, that next passion, that, something that I really want to do, that I really want to put my all in and, dream about like I did when I was trying to make it to the NBA. Cause I didn't realize it then, but I realize it more now. What I really miss is the journey. I miss, having a purpose every day, working out to reach a goal. You know what I'm saying? That's what I miss the most out of not even NBA, just basketball, period. Just reaching that goal, just always having a purpose, waking up every day, trying to get better, trying to, just reach your ultimate goal. And right now, it's just, I don't really have that right now. So I'm just trying to find that.
It's crazy. Like we all been in them situations, and it's like I think now, just even like we retired, whatever, like a support staff. Like if we like a book club, like we all met like once a week or something. Because I'm telling you, I was in the same, like I was dark, and I ain't never have everybody. You went to Villanova, you went to private school, you got your education, your family's tight, you got your mom and pop in the house, you got everything. But when basketball ended, none of that meant nothing. I ain't really know how to go and conduct myself around a new industry, talk to somebody in a different world. I ain't really know how to do that. I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't really trying to be home too much, although I loved home. And we talked about like we the only ones that pretty much then came back home and lived here, and a lot of people then they went wherever they went. But I was stuck, but I ain't really had nobody to turn to. I ain't had nobody could tell me what I was going to do and how to get through it. Nobody. And it seemed like nobody really cared. Like, man, you got money or whatever they think it is. And you all right, man, I wish it was me. But that ain't it. Like you said, that passion is gone and finding that next thing. So it's a hell of a challenge, man. That a lot of support. You talk about mental health. I was in a dark spot.
It's like the NBA logo is flashing everybody's face. That's all they see. When they see you, they see the NBA logo. Yes. So that means because they see that NBA logo, that you don't have no problems and everything's good. You made all the money. You did this. So they can't really understand or comprehend the things you're going through. So it makes us feel more lonely than anything because we don't have really nobody to turn to. It's like you were saying, like all the other stuff don't mean nothing because this game is gone. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, we definitely need a support group.
I remember talking to Blue one time at Villanova, and it was like, You're going to work. I'm not leaving my family. You start really talking about you was intentional. Let's talk to you intentional. Intentional, it seemed like it, like everybody got but like you said, it's not, it ain't what it seems from the outside, because I'm sitting there like, damn, man, Blue know what he going to do. Like, next thing, but it's funny because I was like, yo, would you coach college? Nah, man, I wouldn't. Next thing I know, you the head coach. I'm like, damn, how that happen? Like, this man said it, but it was home. It was the opportunity. It was, you know what I mean? So it was a lot of different things. And I remember when you moved back here, the phone calls you was making, I was like, damn, Mark, I'm not his real estate agent, man. I can't tell him the schools, everything. But I remember talking to you about, and everything was intentional. But like I said, it's still that challenge, man, of every day waking up with that passion and finding it. I think I'm in a good spot now, but it was a long time. When September hit, I was struggling, dog. Like, before the season would start, that's the training camp. I'm like, damn. And then around April, I would struggle. And I'm like, damn, what? And I never could figure it out. But those was the times when you start transitioning from John Arnett's, Gustine, beating each other up all day at that, then doing that. Now you're about to go to your teams. And now the season winding down. Like, them moments, them things really stuck with me for a long time.
Yeah, man. It gets dark.
I think what people don't realize, you know, they see the flash and everything what professionals do and what comes along with it. What they don't understand, we do this out of passion. We didn't sign up. This might sound crazy, but we didn't sign up to play basketball, say, I want to make a lot of money. We just did it because we loved it. Yeah. And we wanted to achieve the ultimate goal, and that's playing in the NBA. And obviously, you know what comes along with that, the prestige of everything. If I say I miss anything about being in the NBA, it's not so much playing. I think it's the camaraderie.
Yes.
Locker room.
That's what I said, man.
Trips,
1 week of meeting,
planes,
a week,
just
a meeting a week.
The conversations we would have, and some of the stuff you can't mention on camera, but you know, you miss those sort of things. It's like a unique boys club.
Yeah, playing Madden on the plane,
Gambling
on the plane,
yelling and screaming and just having a good time. We was big kids. You know what I mean? We were big kids. Get off the plane, go to dinner, go catch a movie. That's at that time everybody would go into the movies, and you just did things together. And we was just like big kids and doing those things. And that's what a lot of people are not privy to. It's like behind the curtain. Those are behind the curtain things that you have, those personal relationships with one another that you build on. And as that start to dissolve, you're going your way. You got your family. You're going your way. You're going your way. And now all of a sudden, you're on your own. You're like, well, wait a minute. I did this all day, every day. I was lucky. From basketball, I went right into coaching. And it's, you know, kept me busy. And I think for a lot of people, especially these kids that's growing up, their moral compass is social media. Where our moral compass was one another, was our mentors or whoever. Their word was law to us. You know, as parents, we try our best to get our point across to kids, but their moral compass, quite honestly, is social media, because it's like feel good noise where they having a bad day. They can go find some sort of chat and somebody can say something that resonates with them and it makes them feel better. Right or wrong.
Instant gratification.
Microwave society.
Or make them feel worse.
Yeah, that's the problem that's going on now.
That's more. It's probably more making them feel worse. But we don't even let our kids use social media. We just don't. I mean, they're not mature enough to be on it, because, like you said, it can go either one. They can get instant gratification, or they can feel worse. So we don't even allow it as of right now. Eventually, you know, they gonna end up being on it, but as of right now, my oldest 15. He in the 9th grade. So, but we don't even allow it.
So it's crazy when you talk about being intentional, and John, it's funny. So John, sometimes we get have a lunch sometimes during the school year when our kids are at school. But it's funny, we get together, like from the day I retired, I got a call from a lady named Michelle Murray it was called Comcast Sportsnet, now it's NBC Universal, which like, hey, you want to do TV? I was like, sure. So I transitioned immediately into that, right? So that kind of occupied my time, along with having a youth basketball program. That kind of occupied my time. And doing college games, that occupied my time. But over the last year or so, now I've been almost having that experience like I'm about the season, I'm playing and the season about to end. So now I've been searching for more. I don't know if y'all go through this, but like for me, it's like I'm in a place right now where I'm searching for more. Like, and I believe, and as I look at my boys now, my sons are huge. My oldest son is 6'8", Sammy's now 6'5", Shane is 6'1". I'm looking at these kids like, oh, y'all grown men. And I think it started doing something to me where now I'm in a certain place in my position. I'm looking at the NBA season when TV's almost done, like what I'm gonna do soon as the season's over. Like now it's the point where I'm even thinking deeper than that. We're like, well, the television personality is from like 4 to midnight, but now I got 9 to 4. I'm trying to find something to occupy that time. So now I'm in a point the last year or so, not this past season, but the season before, where I noticed I was starting to get this little anxiety. And I was like, why I feel like this? Because of the playoffs. And I know as soon as the Sixers season's over, all this free time, people, oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's going to be early.
No, it's not.
That's going to be early.
Hey, this guy know Jack. But like, whatever. But it's crazy though. But like, I'm having like, and I haven't felt this way since we was playing, and the season's about to be over. Like, and you was about to retire. Like, shoot, what I'm gonna do now? And I feel that way now. I love doing TV. I love being a TV personality. But it's to the point like now I'm trying to find something to occupy from 9 to 3. And that one thing I value myself on is treat my sons like men. Like young men. And I told them, like, look, guys, dad getting bored. I know dad is always around. And I always told you dad's gonna be that embarrassing dad, because once again, I learned from your father, Mr. Alvin Williams Sr. I learned from Mike Tabb's father, Mr. Roger Tabb, to always be present and to let them feel my presence. But now I'm to the point like, dad needs to find something else to do. And my son's like, they have the conversation, but dad, don't you do TV? I say, yeah, but the TV is only in the evenings. Like, I have all this time from 9 to 4. There's only but so much weightlifting I could do. There's only so much golfing I could do.
I live more now than I did when I was in the league.
Exactly. Yeah, my golf game's still better than blues. No, I'm joking. But like seriously, like now I'm in a place where I'm trying to find something to occupy my time. So one of my mentors, a guy named Jeff David, who's in the hospitality and own hotels, he was like, would you consider getting another career? I was like, I don't want to leave TV. Like, no. But like having another career from like during the day, I said, I'll consider it. He said, what kind of person are you? You a person that is like an on-the-job trying to train it? I said, hell yeah. It's a new adventure. I was addicted to basketball. Basketball to me, and like we always in the gym. Like I used to, in the summers when we were playing, I used to live in Jersey. I used to drive up with John Harnett's, work out in John's, was like 11 to 1, go have lunch, go lift weights, then I would end up going with Al J Law and just playing 3-on-3 or get more shots because I was addicted to it. Like now I'm searching for more. And I used to thought that was a bad thing. And I have mentors now, pretty much coaching that are older than me, that have not played sports. And they said, yes, you're just searching for another purpose. Being intent on what you're trying to do. And that's who I am. So like, I'm at a point now, me personally, where I'm trying to find something else to do to work along with television. Don't want to leave television, but it's like you start realizing your children are getting older. And unfortunately, I'm divorced now. But like, it's like, I think all that happened the last 3-4 years, and made me realize like, I got to find something else to do. So I want to touch on that. So like, for you guys, now we all fathers. We're all fathers, all family men. But after, what do you want for you? After your children graduate, you ever look to say, okay, I want to do this. Now you've been coaching since you stepped out of the game. You took off sneaks, put on a blazer. So like, do you ever think, first of all, I don't know if you're trying to be on a PGA tour, but, you ever think about what I think we need me? What do we do for me? What's the intent you have from you personally? Is it anything, and we did the same position. You do TV, but that's limited. Like meaning time-wise. You ever think about, you want more, to do more, to maybe touch on different avenues? You are pretty solid and straight with just doing television.
I'm pretty solid and straight. I really don't want to do much. Like I ain't gonna lie.
I think we just talking about I don't mind. Like
I ain't gonna lie. I like the idea of I do 41 games. My summers is off. You know what I mean? If I get called to do a project or do something, like I'm going out to Toronto to do the global jam for a week, where some of Kentucky men's and Louisville women's, they come and play some international. So I get to do that. I get to enhance my
Temple
skills.
not invited? I'm just...
Not. They didn't get the call, but don't worry about it. But yeah, I'm cool with what it, honestly, man, I'm still trying to every day make sure I'm present at home. Like, because relationships, everything need work from years of whatever's going on, and then the kids. And I just feel like you talk about my pop being there, I never seen him, he sacrificed everything. I never seen him do nothing else. He did his job, came home, did whatever. So I'm in a space where I'm content with my schedule. Last year, like I said, I was coaching. It was too much. I come from Toronto. I got to coach. Good. And it was just too much. And I was cheating, not just me and my family. I was cheating other people around. So but that's a good thing, dog. That's a good thing. You still searching. Like, you still got that energy. You still got that wherewithal. You still got that passion. You hunting. That's a great thing, man. Sometimes once that flame go, that's when everybody go. It's a wrap. You hear people when they retire, it's a wrap. Yeah, that's a good thing. So, but I'm cool with having a flexible schedule, lenient schedule, and just moving accordingly.
So what about this? Let's transition to the game of basketball. All us being from Philadelphia, all of us going to different high schools, all of us having different college coaches, except for me, Aaron. Like, you transition now to the NBA and where it's at now. The game is where it's at now. Not just the NBA, but now with social media, now with the internet, I catch myself watching European games, watching games of China, watching games of Japan. I'm addicted to the game still. How do y'all perceive the game now, and do you like it? Excuse me, I'm the only big guy here. These are three wings here. And a point guard.
You're a stretch forward, man.
Yeah, that's true.
It's global now. Everyone else is caught up. We still got the best players here, but these guys are, as you watch the NBA finals with Jokic, and a lot of these foreign guys are coming and they're doing really well in the NBA. And that's a beautiful thing when the game is global. It's as you can see from the salaries, the game is very fruitful. They're skilled. I mean, when you got guys,
so they skilled. You think they skilled?
Let them know, John, because me and John had these conversations.
You being PC, dog.
Yeah, come on, stop playing, man.
I used to have these conversations with me and John used to sit and argue all the time about players and skill-wise and all that. I'm saying they're skilled because name me a player that was Kevin Durant size 20 years ago that can do what he's doing out on the floor. Or, hold up, John, or a guy like Giannis. So that's what these guys are unique in their space and what they're doing. And, hold up, now I can go down the list, but even before the cameras came on, right? We just kind of talked about the NBA and these guys and what they can do, and it's changed from 20 years ago to now. It's a 3-and-D sort of thing where today
let him have it, John.
That's what I don't like about the NBA right now. That's my biggest thing I do not like about the NBA. 3-and-D. So when I came in the league, it was tiers of different levels of players at each position. So you come in, you got Kobe. So you got everybody on his level. Who was on his level? T-Mac, Vince, Ray Allen. Then you go down a notch. You got Richard Hamilton, Mashburn. Like so Rip Hamilton might be below Mash. So every position, it was like that. Now you got your top dudes, and then all 3-and-Ds after that, in every position. So you got your Giannis's, you got your KD, you got your LeBrons, then it's all 3-and-Ds under them. It's no more skill. So with the analytics and all that, they don't want nobody to shoot mid-range. every great player got a mid-range. So if every great player has a mid-range, why would you take it out? So now players don't even work on it except for the great players. So you got your great players, and then everybody else just shoot threes or free throws or layups.
Why do you think that started? My biggest thing on this, I believe it started because that's when the mathematicians got into the
That's
game.
what I'm saying, the analytics.
And the analytics. Now, I'm not counting them out, but like now you got players with the workout guys, they be dribbling 55,000 times or shooting 1,000 threes. And I believe I think nowadays in the game, you got to be able to shoot the ball. But I agree with you. Like, I think it's easier, how can I say this? It's easier to focus on trying to be a 3-and-D guy than try to boop pop somebody. Because nowadays, guys, like, it's more, like I said, more 3-and-D guys on the teams. You got bigger chance.
Nothing but 3-and-D dudes from every position. Now, bigs are 3-and-Ds.
But that comes with giving titles. It's positionless now. Now they give you a 3-and-D.
How do you feel about that 6'5" point guard?
I mean, it just you know what it does? It takes the responsibility. Like as you mentioned in life, you got to pivot. You got to change, you got to relearn. And that's what the league is. That's what basketball is. The NBA now, man, is what they trying to sell us as former players. I don't think we're going to ever buy, because first of all, they're getting more for doing less. Training camp is a week. They're not practicing. So you talk about they highly skilled. Yeah, they playing against lesser defense. The game plan is not the same. It's a structure of the game that reminds me a lot of college. Like they're like robots. They're gonna take that 3-point shot. This. They're not gonna pull up. So defensively, it seemed like it's much easier to guard if you really hone in. But it's more ball movement, it's body movement. It reminds me a lot of college. To your point, it's not all 5 people on the court can give it to you at any given time. You got 2 people, and then you got 3 people that's going to do something.
And a system built around those
So
dudes,
it's systematic. But it's enjoyable, I think, because it is more worldwide. It's more of that. But I don't really particularly like it as much because I don't see the work being put in from a standpoint of that passion and that commitment. I think if a lot of the players today could get paid the same and have the same lifestyle, they'll do something else instead of playing basketball. I see these guys sit up.
And you'll last longer.
Yeah. You will last longer.
14 years, 10 years go to about 20, 25.
But you see it more and more. You see it more and more. Like players is playing longer. They playing at that level longer. They playing at this certain whatever position, whatever they playing, and they're not gonna have to get their knee replaced like me. They're gonna have to do a lot of things. But once again, it's just like the passion is not there the way we saw it.
I'm disappointed in the skill level, yo. Like I wasn't an athletic dude, so none of us was. So we had to use skill to get a bucket. Now, all you do is wait in the corner.
Or
All you do is wait in the corner.
when you drive, throw the ball.
Like,
Hold on, ain't no wrong with that. I got Joey Crawford in trouble because I used to do that. Joey! Foul!
like Joe Johnson. Joe Johnson is probably what? Maybe a tear or two down from, say, a Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
But that's Joe Johnson.
Yeah.
A bucket. You know what I'm saying? That's how much talent it was in the league. That's how skilled the majority of the league was. It's no bigs posting up today.
It's frowned upon.
It's frowned upon. I'm not saying no names, but it's one dude that need a jump hook.
Say that again, John.
There's one dude that need a jump hook, yo.
There's one big guy that need a jump hook. What is he doing other than shooting jump hooks, though, John?
He's doing a lot of other stuff, but he had a jump hook.
To that point, like you said, it's frowned upon, right? But if that big Joel Embiid, right? If he posted up every play, dominate. But the league don't call for that. I remember working with the Sixers at the time. And he probably don't even remember. I remember when Brett Brown was like, yo, they start moving away from the basket because they needed shooting. Ben Simmons didn't fulfill that role as the point guard, so they needed more shooting. And he was a great shooter with the team. And he was like, man, they want me to step away from the basket. I want to dominate in the paint. I remember him saying that to me, but the NBA, the team, they called for it. Brett Brown set me down and was watching film with Tim Duncan, showing like people are comparing him to Tim Duncan coming out of Kansas. This is how he played for San Antonio. We won championships. But the way the league was going, ball movement, body movement, big away from the basket, draw. And I think when you're a player like him, as talented as he is, I don't care how good you are, you still need coaching. You still need direction. You still need to be put in position to be successful. And he hasn't had that. And I think the more time he goes, or players like that go, the farther and farther away they get away from what's going to make them successful and ultimately win, man.
So now you use words that make him successful. He's also the scoring leader, though.
But but everything these coaches is doing is analytics. They get it from analytics and they get it from sports science, man. Like how much a person play, sports science person going to tell them. Once again, Joel Embiid was there. There's like, yo, he can't play more than 25 minutes. Like they telling him, so he got to play 4 minutes in the first quarter, 4 minutes. So now his best player can play. Now, analytically, they tell him what shots or where to put him in position. So it's hard for a coach to actually be a coach the way we came up and coach.
But listen, let me touch on that, dealing with the youth basketball. Y'all know me, Aaron know me very well when it comes to coaching. Like, it starts before they get to him. It starts with little kids now. Yeah. Like, one thing, so shout out to Team Jacko, but I started my program as soon as I retired. And I coach these kids, but I always know I would never get the best players in the city. Because now it starts young with kids saying, you are God. What you're doing is right. What he's telling you to do is wrong. And I said, how's it wrong? It's just real basketball. And I always tell the parents this and said, look, I don't need your child. You need me. And I mean that respectfully to the point far as mentorship.
Well, tell me how to tell me respectfully.
Respectfully.
I don't need your kid.
We're not gonna put respectfully in there.
Oh, thank you.
You need me.
But meaning like just mentorship. And I just want to, here's my thing. We can't take money, we can't take knowledge to the grave. Like we can't, don't work in the afterlife. I just want to give you everything and you take it when you can. But a lot of times you're fighting against people, you're fighting against the youth in the mental where they think they something else. They watching what James Harden do, shooting all these threes. They watch what you said, Joel. And I'm not saying it's good or bad, but what I'm saying is it's just a different way of doing things. So like it starts, and you was a college coach, you was a high school coach. You feel as though that trying to be a coach and actually coach guys say that shot was the right shot. They're like, when I just seen somebody else, like, what you mean it was the right shot? Like you feel like sometimes feel like you're hitting your head against the wall. Like, what's your thoughts on that? Like as far as coaching, trying to coach people, like actually coach them.
I thought we were lucky growing up from the coaches and the people that we had around us. We had one voice. Maybe a few voices.
How many?
Maybe a few voices when we got to the Sunny Hill League and high school team or whatever you played for, but everybody was preaching the same thing, playing basketball the right way, sharing the ball, playing defense, and all of those sort of things. Now, with these kids, everybody's coaching. AAU guy, high school coach, the ball handling guy, the shooting coach. So they got all these coaches and all these different people in their ear. And the one thing was Coach Chaney would say to me all the time is you can't serve two masters. You got to decide who you want to listen to. And,
it better be the right choice.
Who's going to help you get to where you want to go. And I think it's hard for kids. I mean, they mean well, but it's hard when dad is telling you one thing and coaches in the other ear telling you something completely different. And for the most part, a lot of these kids' parents out here have no clue about basketball. Our parents wasn't really involved. They had no idea how good we were.
They were just supportive.
They were just supportive. And now everybody, now everybody got a voice or a say in what this child is doing. And the most egregious part to me is everybody think their child is going to be an NBA player or NFL player. And as I said in the beginning of all of this, we didn't play for the money. We played for the passion of it. This was a hustle for us. We was like, man, how do I get to college from playing basketball? And we were able to go beyond that. And we lost that.
It's crazy. It's crazy, like you said. Like all these parents and everybody, they think they kid going to the NBA. Fine, because we was told we ain't going. You ain't going to the NBA. Put your plan B. Get an education. Yeah, you can curse. Yeah, you know. Yeah. It was like it wasn't a reality. I ain't think about the NBA. I ain't think it was a reality till Kerry Kittles came back from Villanova and my junior year and was like, yo, a couple of GMs asked about you. And I ain't really think, but to your point, if you want to be an orthopedic surgeon, you ain't gonna listen to me. I don't care how many knee operations I done had and how many things things I done took, whatever, to make this. You gonna listen to a doctor. Yeah. So I sit there, I'm like, yo, how is this parent, and not respectfully, how are you telling me, like seriously, like high school, being recruited, college, getting benched, coming back, whatever that like every aspect of sports, we covered that. So why are you feeling you gotta be so involved with something when you got a resource right here? You're not gonna listen to somebody who ain't do it in that profession. So why are you doing that to your kid? And it's what you said, it's too many voices. And the other thing, we was raised to respect authority, man.
Yeah.
You disagree with me, you go somewhere else.
Flagging, yeah. Like, get out of here, coach.
I can't do it, man.
It's the only profession, sports, where people have no experience. Like we're told we got to go to school and reach a certain level where you can go in and be a surgeon, you can go in and be a doctor, lawyer, and all of that. You think if we walked in a room and we read a few books that we can have a say in their profession? It's the only profession where people can interject themselves and tell you what they think. And you have to sit there, be humble, and listen to it.
I think that's because we can't go nowhere and casually play doctor. They can go to a basketball court, pick up a ball, and play.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So because they can do that, they think they know more than what they actually do because they can drive to a basketball court and casually just play. We can't drive to a hospital and casually play doctor. We can't, you know what I'm saying? we can't do that. So because of that,
no matter how many injuries we have.
Yeah. So because of that, I think that's why so many people who hasn't made it to the highest levels have so much say so, because they feel like, you know, they can go do it themselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
but that's a crazy thing because you can't. Like you can't. Like until you get to that point, like, yeah, I can't. And then you have to go out there and then get embarrassed. But you shouldn't even. You're not even certified or qualified. I was just talking to somebody. I'm not somebody. LeVan Austin. y'all Temple.
A former Temple teammate.
Y'all Temple guy. But we was talking about a certain somebody like, yo, is he a pro? They didn't make it to the pros, but is he a pro? Yeah, he a pro. Yeah, he a pro. I watched them give pros buckets. I watched them. I said, yeah. I said, so why didn't he? Well, they don't like to work out. That's a part of it. Like that's a part. That's a
big part.
That's it. That's it. Like, so it's like a lot of people, and I'm not talking about black, but LeVan, but I'm talking about like a lot of people who have no idea what go into this. And then when you do, say you do make it, what comes after this? Relationships, financial people, all that type of stuff. You get to a point where you're pretty much told everything. When you get drafted, your agent, your financial guy, your accountant, none of that stuff you get to learn on your own. So for a long portion of your life, you're being told and you're trusting something that you really don't know nothing about. And then when you take the time to learn it and start asking questions, now you're being combative, or now you're being this, or now you're being whatever. Like, it's a crazy industry, man, where a lot of people don't have a clue what it take. They'll just see that, but everything that go with it.
I would flip it on them and say, what's it take to get to the top of your profession?
Right.
Is it as simple as you make basketball scene?
Yeah, for sure.
That's a good point. So, transit back to basketball. So now we talk about our dislikes of basketball. So what player today you think would do the same thing he's doing now back when we played? What player today you think had the same or similar, not the same, but similar impact and be able to do the same, similar to what they're doing now, they were doing 15 years ago?
Chris Paul, LeBron, all the top players in my opinion.
I mean, a lot of the top players played when we was still playing though. I would say the younger players.
Or a younger player out of the younger guys?
Y'all was
He the old man here.
I like Luka. You know,
You like Luka?
I ain't qualified. I mean, you
I
talk,
like Luka,
like you said, there's tears. I ain't even up on that tier. I'm like, what's up, Luka? But Luka,
I like Luka,
Luka's
man.
James Harden in Houston, man. He
no.
the same. He the same. Three, no defense. He put up numbers, man, but he just you seen him before, dog. You seen him.
I think Luka is more. I think he's more like LeBron than James.
In what way?
What time is this over?
I'm not saying he
You
better.
tripping.
I'm not saying he LeBron. I'm saying in the way he play. I think James was when James was in Houston. James was great. Okay, James can score. He can pass. Like I thought James was great when he was in Houston. But Luka is more. Like I feel like LeBron and Luka. I feel like the way they play, they are the system. You know what I'm saying? They are the system.
Chuck,
They are.
listen.
They're the system.
Would you wanna
put
be a
the
teammate
ball-
with Luka?
Look, you
I
put
think
the ball.
Luka
You
is
put the
supremely
people,
talented.
People,
We talking about a
used
guy.
to
How many rings LeBron got?
People used to complain about
Four.
LeBron, though. People used to complain about LeBron.
About what?
That he hold the ball too much.
I said he gave it up too much.
Yeah,
From what
that's
I
true.
heard, I think that
Don't take the big
that's
shot,
like
so.
trying to compare him to
No,
LeBron is
I'm not-
unfair to him.
No.
And I
I'm-
think
no,
Luka
I'm
is
not
really
saying that.
talented.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's LeBron. I'm saying
Oh,
the way
oh.
he plays.
Well, you want to start? You want to start over?
No, I'm not saying he better than LeBron. I'm not saying he on LeBron level.
Reach that.
I'm saying the way he play, those are the only two where I think they are maybe even Giannis too. They are the system. Like you don't put a system around them. You give them the ball. You just let them rock, and they produce. Luka went to the Western Conference Finals. It's not like he losing. They went to the Western Conference Finals just 2 seasons ago.
They played real well when he was out, and Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson is nice, but
The guy they want to get re-signed, that guy?
LeBron had Kyrie.
something
Everybody
else.
needs somebody.
To the Villanova, yeah,
LeBron had everybody needs somebody. But I'm saying, for the most part, LeBron and Luka I feel like are the only two you give them the ball, and almost it don't matter who they have around them, as long as they got people who can play a little bit, they can produce and win games. I don't think it's anybody else in the league that you can say that about. Not even Steph. Steph is his own system too, but
You think Steph did do what he can do now back then? Like when
He can do everything. Back
15
then,
in the 90s? In early 2000?
yes.
We had to stand next to Steph Pop when he was shooting the ball, and Dell wasn't playing to get.
I'm
Dell
not-
wasn't
no,
putting
no.
it on the floor like Steph.
So I'm a little bit like Sir Charles. Like, I think he comes to the lane, I'm going to chuck him a couple of times. His shooting percentage ain't going to be as high. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but he don't care about that. Like
Body kid, though.
like an AI. He ain't care about missing or getting hit.
Yeah, good point.
Like and Steph ain't no chump.
I agree.
The only thing with somebody like Steph, the style of game, he wouldn't be able to come down or be looked upon without giving the ball inside and then play off. He not coming down and shooting from 30. Like, you know what I mean? That's just not acceptable.
but nobody was doing that when he came in, and he changed it though.
And he gave so many little people, so many
what?
shorter players.
Nobody was
Oh.
doing that until he came in. Like he changed it. Like
So-
he changed the league down there to what it is now. So when
that's
he first came in the league, nobody was coming down just jacking threes like that.
But this is what I'll say, and I've had these conversations before. If Steph changed the game, I don't say Steph changed. You seen not to that degree or that level. I saw like a Chris Jackson, like move,
Oh,
like
that's a
somebody
good
like
one.
that. But analytics and the style of play, like the accepted 3-point shot, quick offense, like he just mastered the game. Like I don't think he's a game changer. I mean, he changed how kids look at it and how they approach and how they practice and stuff for sure. But I think the overall NBA game, analytically and the style of play, same size, smaller game, less poster. I think he just mastered the way the game is playing. I just think that allowed him to do what he does to strength, and he's good enough to master it. That's just my thoughts.
So, all right, let me hit you with this one then. So, if you had to name, let me give you your top by position. Give me your top 5. Each position. Start by you. Point guard, shooting guard, small forward.
All time or?
All time.
Oh, man.
Okay, should we just keep it relevant? Okay, let's keep it there. Current players. Current players.
That's playing in the NBA today?
Played from when you played to now.
Man, you all over the board, man.
Playing from when you play, I said one, you didn't like it, so I adjusted it. I'm adjusted on the fly. From when you play and the players now.
I mean,
because you didn't play 2 for long ago. So
Michael Jordan.
Okay. Position. Okay, so that's your shooting guard.
Michael, Kobe,
Shaq,
KD.
Hold on, everybody's different. Let's go start by one. Let's start. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Man, you go ahead.
All right, Aaron.
He trying to avoid it.
That's what Nova guys do. They deflect.
No, because
This
I hate
starts
these, I hate these conversations.
Yeah, like it's not.
It's all relevant. It's all what you think.
No, but I think within our span of when we play is all the best players.
All right, so give me the top 5. About position.
Besides Magic.
Okay. So Magic's not counted then.
I'm not counting Magic because he ain't played.
Okay, gotcha.
But he the only person that I'm putting in there outside of Magic and Kareem. Jordan, Kobe, Bron.
So who's your point? We got to go by position.
Bron.
Bron, okay. Okay, Bron need a point. Okay. Kobe's a...
3. I mean...
Position.
So Kobe and Jordan, okay.
Jordan, 2,
LeBron,
3.
Kobe, Jordan, uh-huh.
At the 4, I'm putting...
You go a lot of ways with that one, bro. At the 4 spot, you go any, meeny, money. So.
KD. I was going to say KD or Duncan.
No, but yeah, Duncan. KD
You gotta give me one. You can't give me both. Can't be 1A, 1B. So which one?
I'm going Duncan.
Duncan, okay.
And then I'm going Shaq.
Going Shaq. So you got LeBron, Kobe, MJ, Duncan, and Shaq. But, okay. Look. Ain't no wrong answers. This is what you think.
Bron at the point. Kobe, Mike, whatever you want to call it. Okay. KD at the 4, Shaq at the 5. And that's no disrespect to Magic, who I love.
But Magic ain't in it, though. Magic ain't in it.
Why?
Well, you know, he guarded Magic. Him and they was roommates.
Magic wasn't playing when we was playing.
He's older than us, John.
You played with Magic?
Against him, yeah.
Magic was a 4-man. He old.
Yo, you played with Magic?
Showing our age. He showed his age.
Came back.
So you put Magic. You put Magic.
No. I'm saying.
Well, you can put Magic.
No disrespect for those guys who I love because Magic was a culture changer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, Magic my favorite player ever.
Dr. J was a culture changer for the NBA. You know what I mean?
Ain't played with Doc.
And then just
he said, damn, how old are you really?
I'm making a point, like how all the guys, we can't forget about the history of the game and the guys who changed it and made it better for us. You know what I mean? You had Doc, and I don't want to leave nobody out. Doc, Magic, Bird, and then Michael, boom. It was just an explosion. And so, you know, here
That's
we
why
are.
I hate them conversations.
But there's no wrong answer, though.
Somebody gonna grind you like we just was grinding John up about Luka and but I think it's always 80s, 90s. Like you talk about Mike.
But you can't discredit the other guys, though.
Who?
You said you talk about the 80s.
But it don't mean nothing. Exactly. It don't mean like the other guys help over left wasn't nice too.
Yeah, I don't know.
So give me a 5.
I don't have no 5, man.
Give me a 6 then. What kind of rouge y'all play with at the main line?
I still don't know what
about
the
Will?
time.
When you played to current players.
I didn't even put that together, but I remember him coming back, dog. He came back.
I mean, he did come back, but
He had a triple-double, like his first game or something like that back. But no, like, the same as they said, it's real similar. I love Magic. I mean, LeBron at the point, Mike, Kobe. I would have to go Tim Duncan at the 4 and Shaq.
Oh, how you gonna say Tim Duncan up? No, I'm just
Yeah, it is. But yeah, but that's just what it is, man. But the game, once again, the game changed. Like you say, how can't you put Steph in there? A game change or whatever. But styles has changed. Like I would have to take LeBron at the point guard all day. But where's my shooting at? What rules we playing with? What day and time?
They don't need no
you
shooting,
got
man.
right. You gonna get that. You got guys that's gonna get to it, baby. They get to it, man.
You need shooting.
You do.
You need
Agreed.
shooting. All those players when they had
How many
shooting,
rings
man,
all those guys got?
but they had shooting with them. They had shooting. They did have you got to have some type of balance. That's why I like LeBron at the point because he don't need to score. How we working with Kobe and Magic? How we gonna work with that? Chemistry is a big thing. Chemistry. Give me Marc Jackson at the 4. Give me Blue at the 3. Give me John at the 2. You know what I mean?
We might lose every game, but you know what I mean? We all right. We gonna knock somebody's teeth out their mouth. Knock them down, knock the teeth out, pick them up. My bad, dog. My bad.
Oh man, it's. But you're right though. The game changed, and it's not like the game's changing more and more every few years. And I also think the adjustment of the referees, like one day they let them play, one year they call it physical, one year it's like make up your mind. Like, so I think that dictates the way people play. But I also think great players adjust. Like, I still think Giannis would have been Giannis 20 years ago. I still think LeBron would have been LeBron 20 years ago. Yeah. Like, those two, like...
Giannis definitely would have been Giannis.
Giannis is special to me, bro. Like, Giannis is special.
You ain't have to be a shooter back in the day.
Facts. Good point.
He definitely would have been... He would have dominated back in the day, I think.
So let me ask y'all this then. Let me throw this wrench in there, John. So
dominated to a point like today. I think the biggest thing is it'd be more size. Is that I think the physicality? I like.
You don't think he built for that? I think he built for that.
He's so big
and mentally,
he can't. You couldn't put a big on him back in the day. What big you gonna guard him back in the day?
Gotcha, ain't put no 4.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah, he full court.
I believe he'll dominate too. I believe he'll be very good. But I think it's more mentally, man. The mental aspect is just different. I think the younger players today don't approach the games the same, man.
This is why I got a controversial guard topic. I think because of what you said, AI is the 4th best guard ever.
Behind Kobe, MJ,
Magic.
Guard?
Because of toughness?
Just guard. Yeah.
The
only 2 other people I can arguably put in front of him is Wade because of his height. And I'm only putting the other ones in front of him because of their height. And the only little guard is Steph.
You know what's crazy about that? About Hart? Like I was speaking to some kids today, and I mentioned AI, and I tell them, I said, look, I remember in practice, we used to practice. I remember personally knocking AI on his ass a few times, and I see him holding his arm. He get up like it's none of a problem. Like, I know your arm broke. Like, I'm good. Like, he's just so tough. Like, he's a different
I can't see nobody. I really can't see nobody like dog, like getting the best of him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just playing against him. You watching these 2 dudes playing, and you come out after the game saying he's better than AI. I can't see nobody doing that to him. You know what I'm saying?
You never was gonna come out of a game and say that about anybody that he came up against because his motor was off the chart.
Yeah,
and he was
boy.
just a super competitor. Like,
was
it
so
didn't
damn
matter
small.
what environment you went in. You know how you would see him. He come in the locker room, limping, hurt, bone, everything hurting on him. 7 o'clock come, zip, 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 up and down the floor. After the game, oh man, that was more so he didn't have to practice the next day. But he was just different. And I would tell him all the time, man, you are a special athlete. How he was able to do the things, never got tired.
Yeah.
I've never, ever seen him in the game huffing and puffing, saying I'm exhausted.
And never lifted weights. And never did extra sprinting. He just wanted to play pickup ball.
He just reminded me of today a player like that, remind Ja Morant. Like, remind me in
similar size,
athleticism, style of play, fearless, but just one of them dudes that back home it was good in everything. Baseball, football, tag, basketball, like just good at everything, man. Yeah. Just like, and he'd be like, damn, when'd you get a chance to practice? We've been outside, but you just better than everybody at everything. He just remind me of that type of stuff. But I think once again, I'm not discrediting AI. I think all of us was like that. not with that skill level or the talent, but we ain't show no cower. You wasn't scared of nothing. You wasn't going to show that you was hurt. Like, that was just that era. And that's how we grew up. Like, I look at my son, like, I'm like, yo, dog, you not embarrassed to cry? Like, you just want to cry, you cool. And I know you got to be sensitive, so you got to be sensitive with everything you say. Show your emotion. I'm like, you just, like, it took you forever. Like, you try to hold your tear ducts so the tears wouldn't drop down your eyes when we was kids. I think that's who AI exemplified. They talk about like culture and everything changing. He changed a lot, man. He changed. They wanted to put him at the point. Nah, I'm gonna be a smaller two guy. I just remember y'all team playing against y'all a lot. And the way y'all team was made up, it was the toughest team. It was the team that sacrificed the most. And y'all just had pieces that
Moneyball
complemented
put
everything.
together.
Hey, I could go guard me. You could guard Vince. He ain't have to guard his position. Then like stuff like that.
I played in front of him.
We played them in the playoffs, right? I never forget the AI go for 54. I'm in the back. In the back. He walked past me like, yo, man, don't even trip. When you get rolling like that, ain't nothing you can do. So I'm like, next game, we go back to Toronto. Vince get 50. I bump into, yo, dog, don't even trip. Don't even trip. Hey, yo, but they team was the toughest, like that NBA team, the toughest team. Even when you was younger on that team, we used to be at Pecan playing, there was some battles, man. There was some tough Philly teams. You was there.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was the thing. Like Larry Brown was just bring the guys come in. Like Larry Brown was like having guys work out.
Like Brown used to coach us more than he coached
Yes,
y'all.
exactly.
Like, damn, I'm not even on this team.
Was that legal back then? Was that tampering?
To me, that's the biggest thing we lost in Philly. Was the family, the brotherhood that we had, that we all was in one gym.
Yeah,
that's
all
why
working
we
out
were so
together, yeah.
fearless. And you play against AI in the summertime.
Yeah.
So it wasn't no different. You've seen that before. And we all was there in the gym.
It was a little different though. From the summertime to the wintertime.
You said be free, Al. You said be free a little bit. Go back at
I'm
him.
just saying, like, I thought we lost a little bit of that in Philly because we all grew up playing in the gym against one another. And now young players, it could be a kid in North Philly that hasn't played against a kid in Germantown. Yep. That's unheard of.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think it all changed when Johnny H died, when he passed away.
When Johnny H died, John Hurnett. John Hurnett, people was a local coach here in Philadelphia that just had open runs. Anybody would come in the gym. You just had to bring your lunch pail, work hard, and just shut the hell up and just grind and listen. So that's who John's talking about, Johnny H.
But that's how we came up too.
Yeah.
So I came up watching y'all. You and John Haynes.
Yep.
Whoever y'all came up, I don't know if it's Pooh Richardson, Bruce, like all that. Then we come up, and I'm a little older than you. I remember first time seeing John coming to Finley. He mentioned him and Chuck Moore come. I'm like, damn, they said this young boy remind me so much of you. He's tall, can handle the ball. I'm like, who? He come walking down, going to work. He might have been 9th or 10th grade.
Hey, what was his go-to? The Statue of Liberty.
Man, that Hezzy was crazy. The stuff you see people do now?
Exactly.
First one. But that's how we all, and I remember me and Kat, we sit like, damn, man. Kat was like, yo, I think I played good against Eddie today. Like, yeah, man, you did play good. Then we see y'all on South Street. We see y'all tomorrow. Go to Temple, hang out with y'all. Y'all let us come, chill with us today. Like that first time I met you. And you say, oh, how's your dad? I'm like, damn, man. My dad was talking to Sonny Hill about you. Like, we all came up and ran. We all ended up in the same gym at the same time, just going to work.
The funny thing about it, like when I was away, John would always call me and tell me about you guys. Like, Alvin's doing well, John's doing well, Marc's doing this. He always said Marc was a pain in the ass. But he always would tell me that you guys were going to be pros. And he would say it to me, and he said it to me at a time where I had no belief and didn't believe what he was saying, but I trusted him.
Yeah.
I remember one summer, all of the guys that I worked out with in the summer went to Nike camp. And back then, it was the only one. You had to get invited. Haynes, Carlin Worley, Rap Curry, Gene Burroughs. We used to all go to the gym together at the same time. They all went to Nike camp. I was the only one that was at home, obviously crying, because I'm in the gym with these guys. And I'm like, man, I can, hang with these guys, if not, better. He's like, you're going to be all right. And, from that point on, I always was a worker, but everything he told me to do, I did it. And it worked out. You know what I mean? But he will always call me and tell me about you guys. And this guy's working. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's going to be really good. So I knew from afar how good you guys was going to be because his word was always law with me. You know what I mean? So you always got different people. And I always tell my son this, you never know who's watching.
Yeah.
Put your best foot forward every time you get out there and you play.
I went to University of Miami. I don't even know when they haven't even seen me play.
Really?
No, yeah, I have no idea when they saw me play. It's crazy. So, like you said, you never know who's watching. I don't know if it was AAU, if it was high. I don't know when they saw me play. I just started getting calls from them.
Philly
Really?
was one of those spots where it was so much talent around that time. There was so much talent with the Hill League, Total Response, and we was all in one area.
I forgot about Total Response.
Yeah, we all about Total Response.
Total
Yeah.
Response. Kev Rockman, another thing, what he did for the city, right? In your Belfield, but I remember, she, our time, she was the guy, right? And college coach was always here. So you just would never know. And my pop was always there. And my pop resembled John Thompson early on, and everybody thought Georgetown was always recruiting me. I'm like, yo, that's my pop, dog. That ain't John Thompson. But like you said, you never know who watching. You never know watching. But I do say, y'all two stories, watching y'all being the underdogs, and then being who y'all became. It was always. I remember talking to my pop. Oh, he's like, yeah, he can play basketball, but he real good in baseball. I was like, for real? So my pop used to just go to games and just watch. He could tell me everything about you, every cat, Sean Cole, everybody. But that was he good at football. He might play quarterback. Did you play quarterback? Yeah. Good at football. Play for the Raiders or something like that. My poppy tell me all that. Same thing. But I got a chance for me to watch the grind. I watch how you transformed your whole body, dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
You was somebody that we already know. We went to Virginia together.
Yeah.
All those type of things. So we had a lot of intimate moments, just knowing who you did, knowing who you are, what you're doing, all those things. And I got to see it, man. So it was always about that passion, dog. It was always about that. And our city provided that for us, man.
Yeah.
Having that resting bed for us to see each other growth.
And to compete with and against each other. Nowadays, my sons are rising 11th grade, 10th grade, 6th grade, and I'll be like, I call kids and I rent a gym, let's go, they come play pickup. Let's get the guys to play pickup. Just have them play. I call kids, well, no, because he might end up leaving Saoirse's AAU team to go to play with your son at this. I'm like, I just want kids to play pickup. I learned so much. Playing pickup in the schoolyards. And I got a story, talking about Johnny H, I got a story for you when Coach Lucas was a coach of the Sixers briefly. And he was practicing St. Joe's. And Johnny H was in the summertime, like we did a pecan, come watch the Sixers play. I'm practiced. They a lot of guys play pickup. Coach Lucas was the head coach of 76 at one point. He used to coach practice in the offseason at St. Joe's University at workouts. And I went. I was 15, 16 years old, can't remember. And they going up and down playing pickup. And Coach Lucas sitting there. And Coach Lucas like, hey, John, is this guy you talking about? He's like, yeah. He said, son, put shoes on. Like, what you mean put shoes on? Put shoes on, come play. Come play with the pros? He's like, yeah, put shoes on. And I was 15 or 16 years old. I put sneaks on, went out playing pickup. And I think that was after the trade with Charles going to Phoenix and Tim Perry. So I'm playing pickup, and I never feel the guy rest his soul. We're coming down the court. True story. They give me the ball, I scored 2 times in a row. And I'm thinking, oh, man, this is, okay, nice.
You said you was 15, 16?
I was 15 or 16, can't remember. Listen, though, you know my move back then.
I don't call that true.
No, these are facts. You call Coach Lucas, bro. Facts. So we come by, my move back then was a jump hook, which John's saying somebody need that. Move the jump hook. I'll never forget this. Coach Lucas stopped the workout. I said, you let that young kid score on you right now, I'm cutting you. Next play on the floor, that guy gave me an elbow to the back of my head, something vicious, bro. And that was it. Last I played was the fact that I got on the court, I scored, it gave me confidence. I was put in a
Same
situation.
thing you gave Meeks from Duke back in the head, Temple.
It was Newton. So go get it right. Anyways. But listen though, but think about that. But because I trusted Johnny H had me in the gym and workouts day. Like now look at the youth playing pickup. They don't play pickup no more. It's all drills. It's all workouts. Do the pros even get together and play pickup unless it's one guy who's working out 10 guys? Hey, working out that say my 10 guys play pickup? Do guys even play pickup anymore?
They do.
They do?
You gotta go to LA and different things. I don't know in this area. Yeah, everything is orchestrated now. And everybody's so insecure. Like you said, I don't want you to go work out with Marc Jackson because he might get you for Team Jacko or this and this. Like all the basketball that we've seen and came through and just our foundation fundamentals that we got is so far gone. And once again, it's like you see examples of a recipe that I think worked. Said we ain't the only ones. It's Jason Lawson, Cuttino Mobley, it's Rick Brunson. It's
go down the list.
You go but that one from 1990 to 1990, Rasul Butler, Kobe, like everybody was in the gym. Like everybody was in the gym, and it was funny. Like when the Sixers used to come, they wanted to come where we was. They wanted to come to Gustine Lake. They wanted to do those things, and now you look once again. The parents say, "I want my kid to be this or be at this level." But you got a blueprint right in front of you. All you gotta do is listen, read it, listen. I when I was at Shipley, I was like, yo, bring some kids here. Y'all all Instagram, talk to everybody, bring some kids here. They're like, well, they think you recruiting. I'm not recruiting nobody, man. I'm not. That's what parents say. Well, they're not trying to go to Shipley because the coach won't let them. Man, just bring some 12th grade. Let them play against somebody different, man.
They'd rather go pay somebody than to get free lessons from a pro.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
So let me ask you this. Let's transition. We all from Philly. We all look slim and goody, all in good shape. But we all, everybody's had a cheesesteak here. So this is something we do on our show. We like to get your top, and you might not eat cheesesteaks now, but if you had to get your top 3 places in Philadelphia for cheesesteaks, and I don't know the last time you had a cheesesteak. What about you? Exactly. What about you?
I would say Deli. The last time I had one?
Last time I had a cheesesteak.
2 years ago?
Oh, it ain't been that long.
By the way, John's a former restaurant owner, so I know he ain't went that long without no cheese.
It ain't been no two years, but it's been a while, though. It's been a minute.
Yeah, about how long? I don't know, man. I got young kids. Whatever's quick. Whatever
they're eating, we eat.
Yeah, but no, I probably, it's been less than a year.
Really? All right, so in that case, give me your top 3 Philly cheesesteak places.
I'm going with Ishka Bibbles, D'Alessandro's.
That's 2 of mine.
Yeah, that's all I know.
Really? Larry's is my 3rd.
Okay.
Larry's.
Across the street, St. Joe's.
St. Joe's?
Yeah.
Then from St. Joe's.
Right across the street from St. Joe's.
But hold on. Okay. Okay. What about you? So you got the same 2 though?
Yeah, and Larry's.
Ishka Bibbles, D'Alessandro's, and Larry.
Yeah.
D'Alessandro's.
You got one stop. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't been down.
Because it's close to the house?
Kind of, sort of. Yeah,
That
kind of,
sounds
sort of.
that cool. That sounds all the way.
You got to do is hop on the drive, John.
Yeah, but that's kind of. I'm not.
Well, Larry's is closer.
Larry's. That's why I go to Larry's because it's.
I'm
close.
so none of y'all mentioned Max's. Broad Erie?
I'm not going down there, dog. I'm not.
Kevlar vest. Protection.
Unfortunately, and I don't mean to sound bougie. I ain't going down to Max's, man. I'm not going to Max's. I'm not going down there, man. I'm not going to get a hot one for a cheesesteak.
By the way, people, so Max's is an incredible cheesesteak place at Broad Erie. No disrespect. There's a great cheesesteak place at Broad and Erie Avenue in the heart of North Philadelphia. Great cheesesteaks. But when I've transitioned over to the pescatarian life, but I was always Max's and Ishka Bibbles, bro.
You can get a salmon steak. Salmon
Facts.
cheesesteak.
No, I go to, what's the place on Ridge Ave? Muslim spot. Lynn Greer put me on it, but I messaged you on that. All right, so fellas, before we wrap, first of all, I gotta say thank you for giving me your time. But I gotta tell you, I gotta get this one last question out. As all being fathers, as all being family men, we all mention the importance of not just being present, but the importance of also of, like you keep mentioning, relationships. Do you feel as though what would you like to see for this next chapter in your life that you would like to do a better job of as a man for yourself? What would you like to see yourself do more of? No matter what. Deep one. Mm-hmm. We're going to bring this back out of archives in a little bit.
Man, I don't know, man. I really don't know. I want to continue trying to be a good father, making sure that I don't let nothing get in the way of that or lose sight. We talked about being intentional, always being intentional to my priorities. My priority is my family. And I tell people all the time, like, when you're struggling to do something, man, what's your priority? Give the most time to your priority, the least time to whether it's work, whatever it is. So just making sure I keep everything prioritized and just being intentional with that. Like I said, I lost both my parents. So I'm looking how life is, man. Like, life is crazy. Life, and you hear it all the time. Don't take it for granted, but you still go about your life, how you go about your life, and then it's too late. So just being more intentional, man. Just doing a better job of being intentional with my priorities.
I mean, definitely continue to, be better as a father, better as a husband. But I think I want to build something. I want to build something to. So my youngest two boys, my 8-year-old, my 10-year-old, they just started playing basketball like last year. So they're not that good right now, but they more and more I see that they falling in love with it. And I'm happy about it because I never forced my kids to play. So last year they on their own, they just they wanted to start to play. So being competitive, you hope they make it. You know how hard it is for them to make it, but just being competitive. That I made it to the league. You hope they make it. If they don't, they don't. But I got 4 kids, and I want to build something to the point where they can all, go to college, get their degrees, and I have something that they can immediately just step into. I kind of got an entrepreneur spirit, so I think that's been the biggest thing I've been thinking about doing since I retired. I just don't know what that thing is, but it's just something I want to build to the point where they can, step out of college and all that is theirs. Kind of like Junior Bridgman. He did the thing with all the franchises. I think he had a whole bunch
franchises.
of Subways and all that.
Wendy's.
Yeah, Wendy's.
Sold them.
He sold them. Then he sold them to
Coca-Cola bottling now.
Yeah. But I think he sold his franchises to like his daughter for like $1 or something like that. I might have got that mistaken, but I thought I heard he did something like that. Like he all his kids went to college and they perfectly took on business classes and all that stuff, got a business degree. So when they graduated, they can step right in and take over the business. Like stuff like that, something like that.
That's strong.
For me, just being more patient. I think all my life, everything has been results driven. Just being more patient as a father, as a husband, and everything else in life, and just enjoy. I just try to simplify things, man. Sounds simple. It's really difficult, as we can see. I mean, there are millions of people that would rip your head off to have the position that you guys are in, that all of us are in. I think, for a lot of us, everything has been results driven for us, and that's what motivated us in life. You'll find your space. It's like basketball. It was your passion. What's your passion? And then you tap into it. You might not make the level of a Junior Bridgman, and that's the top of the food chain. No pun intended in saying that. But it's taken him years and years and years and years. He's been in the game for a long, long time. And a lot of what he's in that brotherhood of ours. He don't know, but we're watching him. And again, it's one of those things that I said before. You never know who's watching. We're all watching him because we all want that post-basketball career or post-coaching career. But for me right now, man, it's just being more patient as a father, as a husband, and just trying to enjoy life a little bit for now and enjoy the fruit of my labor.
Here's PGA card.
I wish I was that good as a golfer.
For me, man, it's keep building relationships. Like, me and John talk a lot. We try to get together every week, and I see Aaron a lot, and I was, childhood friends. It's for me, it's like now I sit back and I'm like, I need to, all four of us have a great relationship with each other, but it's like, I want to make them better. Like, it's just, I see the importance I see the importance more so now than ever of your group, your guys, people you talk to. And I had a great conversation with this gentleman who's a philosopher, and he gets real deep. And he said, the older you get as men, now this is what he said. He said, we reach a certain age where we pretty much put out the pasture by our family. And it's not intentional, not disrespectful. It's just like, the mother, once her children now have children, she's now pretty much called upon again as a teacher again. The first teacher of the child is the mother. She's called upon again as the teacher. As a father, it's like, we're no longer that provider protector because now our children have children, that's their jobs. And it's like, to the point, like, we just try to see where we fit in. And that's the importance, he said, of two things. A, is being a playmate for your grandkids. And two, is building stronger connections with your friends. And he said, and as you get older, you start building deeper connections with more people. And that's where I'm at now. My sons, they better not be having, but my sons are teenagers now. But I'm saying to say, I'm at a point like, I just really searching and want to build a deeper connection with my friends. We are all friends. We are all childhood friends. But it's not like, hey, how do you every week? Now I'm making it intentional, call y'all more and stuff like that. Let's get together lunch. Let's do stuff like that, because that stuff is important for me. It drives me. And I just think as we get older, we get more deeper. And the deeper they get, the more strong I want my connections to be. So that's my whole purpose. And also to make sure that I have even a deeper connection with my three sons. Instead of just being an authority figure, I want them to always rely on me as a mentor as well, other than just their father. So I think those two aspects of me is something that I value, and it's something that I reach deeper into the well to try to develop. So fellas.
So you want that once a week meeting?
I'm down. Me and John do the school year, we get it in. Like,
I know that you said
do the school year
once a week.
Because it's during the school year. We don't know when you went to Toronto, bro.
Man. Get out of here.
I just want to say, all this Villanova and Temple talk.
We can't. You ain't go local, so I'm sorry.
Villanova, I'm undefeated. And Temple, y'all just wasn't good enough to play.
Dang. I'm trying to think.
Damn.
I'm trying to think.
Can't even compete with them.
I wasn't there.
What was you in the Big East?
Big East.
Big East.
Yeah.
We allowed them in the Big East.
Y'all gained permission?
We should have always
before
been in the ACC, but we was in the Big East when I was there.
Oh my God!
Yeah. But Miami, we even.
I mean, when
before
it changed
you got
when I got there.
Yeah.
So
trendsetter.
Yeah. Now everybody really want to go to Miami.
Listen though, fellas, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate, but not as a basketball player, but just, but fellas, I appreciate y'all being here. This was great conversation, great discussion. I appreciate your vulnerability, being open, transparent, and listen, y'all had it here, man. I gotta give a shout out to my guy Alvin Williams, John Salmons, and Aron Mckie.
Where did Blue come from? You ain't never seen it.
Yeah, I mean, let's get to that. Real quick, couple of seconds. Where did you get the name Blue? Because I heard some stuff, but then when I read it was from baseball. I heard because of your complexion, they called you Blue. I heard that from BuzzFeed.
You heard
it too, John?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, didn't you mention I played baseball?
Yeah.
If y'all look, you bored? You bored? If y'all watch the news, you saw, a few weeks ago, a month ago or two, Vida Blue passed away. He was a famous pitcher for the Oakland A's. I played baseball. You mentioned it early. It's one of my first passions. I enjoyed playing baseball. I was a pitcher. And one of my best friends, Craig White, I think all you guys know him. He started calling me. Yeah. He started calling me Vita Blue. And when I would pitch, he would just yell it, and it just picked up, and it stuck with me throughout. So when people ask me, where'd you get the nickname Blue from? In short, I say, because I'm dark. They call me Blue. All right. Does that help?
Two sides of the story.
Facts. But fellas, I appreciate y'all time.
Thank
you for joining the Marc Jackson Show. I hope y'all got enlightenment for this entertainment, as well as a new way of thinking or a different way of thinking. Everybody's their own person. God bless and thank you. Peace from the Fitler Club. Marc Jackson out.